Well, good morning, everybody. I want to thank you for taking the time to come out today for this, what I believe is going to be a very special announcement. There's no doubt that this is an exciting day for the University of Louisiana as we begin the next chapter of success for our Ragin Cajuns Soccer program. But before I introduce our head coach, there are a number of people that I want to acknowledge and publicly thank for their assistance with this search process. First of all, to President Savoie. His unwavering commitment to athletics is unprecedented, and although he could not be here today due to a board meeting in Baton Rouge, he did have the opportunity to meet with our new head coach during a visit to Lafayette, and I can tell you he gave me 2 thumbs up when I made the recommendation to hire Coach Key. Certainly Vice President for Finance Administration, Mr. Jerry Luc LeBlanc. Again, his support makes everything happen here as well, and I could not be more thankful for all that he does for this university and our department. Our Director of Human Resources, Mr. Paul Thomas. Paul works very closely with our department, and certainly I have a great deal of gratitude for everything that he does when we go through such an important process like this one. Deputy Director of Athletics, Dr. Jessica Leger, and her role in this process, as well as Associate Athletic Director, Mr. John Dugas. I leaned on those 2 individuals quite heavily during this process, and again, very grateful for all that they've done in this short amount of time as we went through this transition. There were numerous athletic director colleagues and industry coaches who were also willing to visit with me and answer questions as we researched candidates, so I'm certainly grateful to them as well. I also want to share a great deal of thanks and gratitude to our current soccer assistant coaches, Lisa Mann and Mark Hiller, who have been true professionals throughout this process and have worked tirelessly and unselfishly to maintain our recruiting efforts and relationships while providing stability to our team during this transition. So Lisa and Mark, thank you guys very much. And finally, I want to express a heartfelt thank you to Scott Whelan, who dedicated 14 years of service to the University of Louisiana, the Department of Athletics, and our soccer program as the head coach. We certainly wish Scott nothing but the best as he begins the new chapter in his life. We received a tremendous amount of interest in the head soccer coach position at the University of Louisiana, and a great deal of time went into finding an individual who met the characteristics we were looking for. Those characteristics included a continued commitment to the academic success of our soccer program, the ability to build positive relationships with our young women, a proven winner, a relentless recruiter, and someone who displayed a strong commitment to player development. Our process introduced us to numerous quality candidates, but the further we researched and vetted people, it became very clear who should be the next leader of our soccer program. My initial introduction to Lance Key occurred over a telephone call. What I intended to be a brief discussion to simply gauge interest and share a little bit about what we had to offer and what we were looking for turned into, I believe, was about a 90-minute conversation. And that's a long time between 2 guys on the phone. I learned quickly, though, I was speaking with a very engaging and relational individual, characteristics that I knew would be a great fit for Cajun Nation, Acadiana, and the Lafayette community. His intelligence, professionalism, and knowledge of the game became very transparent the longer we spoke. During my first face-to-face meeting with Lance and his family, I quickly noticed that everything that I experienced through the telephone conversation was reinforced. He shared a detailed plan for moving our soccer program forward while acknowledging the most important thing we do is educating our young women and ensuring that they graduate with a degree from the University of Louisiana. Hearing from some of his former players and coaches he worked with in the past, common words used by all were passion, dedication, and genuine. He develops positive and lasting relationships with his players and those he works with. He possesses the 3rd-ranked all-time winning percentage across all divisions of the NC2A, both for men's and women's soccer, and is a 2-time National Coach of the Year, a proven winner. As a head coach, Lance Key achieved an overall record of 210 20 and 18, which transfers to a mere 83% winning percentage. And there's a joke there. Such an accomplishment is done through quality coaching and the ability to identify talent, a relentless recruiter. Throughout his career, he has coached and developed 21 All-America student athletes, 27 Scholar All-Americans, and 4 NC2A postgraduate scholarship recipients. He has an ability to develop student athletes. He's a man of great integrity and a hard worker. He's a devoted husband and father who is extremely genuine and relational. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in giving a very loud Cajun welcome to our head women's soccer coach, Mr. Lance Key.
Thank you for the opportunity to stand and share a little bit about who I am and why I'm here. But before I get into some of those details, it's very important for me to introduce my family. So if you can bear with me as I bring them up, if you guys can come up here for me, please. So this is my lovely wife, Natalie.
Hi, everyone.
This is our youngest, Judah. This is our oldest, Ava. And there on the end is Ella. So Judah's 7 months, Ava is about 6.5, and Ella is about 4.5. And thank you very much. Thank you. And for us, I'm a family guy. Family's a massive part of my life. And so we were grateful to have the opportunity to go around the community and really experience that firsthand. And that had a lot to do with our comfort level in being here. There's a lot of places that you can go and a lot of experiences that you can have, but the value that we have in our life experiences comes to the people that we share those with. And so the opportunity that I was able to share the experience of being here with my family and the warm welcome that we had and we continue to have has much to do with why we chose to come here and accept the invitation that Dr. Maggard extended to us. We could not be happier to be here today with you all. I was reminded earlier today, 5 years ago, I was celebrating a berth to the national championship with my previous team, and I could not have been happier at that time. And 5 years later, I'm standing here in front of you all, and I could not be happier to be here. This is a phenomenal opportunity for any person to be able to come into an environment, to come into a setting with such tremendous vision and determination for not just success, but for significance. Success is how we measure, in our modern society, is how we measure wins and losses oftentimes, right? We deem ourselves successful based on whether we've won that match or whether we've been able to yield that recruit or whether we've been able to achieve that grade point average. But the significance is where our value really comes into place. We're in the business of educating 18 to 22-year-old, in my case, young women. Part of that education, a tremendous part of that education, is the level of service that we can provide for them to ensure that they have an experience that is invaluable. Because ultimately, as we all know, there's about a 3.5-year expiration date to a collegiate athletic experience for an incoming 17 or 18-year-old. And what they go on to do beyond that is what is the most significant thing that they'll have in their life. But we have to set that foundation here. Being under the vision of Dr. Maggard and Dr. Savoie was just a phenomenal presentation, a phenomenal opportunity for me and my family to be able to come in alongside something that is special. And those of you that are in this room that know a little bit about the vision that they have, you understand what that means. Come on in. Love it. That's funny. That's funny. I want to publicly thank Dr. Maggard and Dr. Savoie for this opportunity for our family to come and to be a part of your family and of your family. It's a very, very special opportunity for us. My wife is originally from South Africa, so if you were to have a conversation, apparently we have some South African fans in the back for you. So this is, America was new to her. Lafayette will be new to her, but the excitement that we have because of this familial dynamic is really immeasurable. My objective as the head coach of the University of Louisiana for the women's soccer program is to ensure that we facilitate an environment where these young ladies can thrive in every aspect of who they are and everything that they do. First and foremost, we have to understand that they're human beings. Sometimes we can forget that in a competitive setting, right? So who they are, who they develop into during their course of time here is very, very important for what they go on to do. And we take that very seriously. We take that seriously as a family, and I know that this department takes that very seriously. I cannot wait to get to know them and to start to build relationships with them. The opportunity to sit with them last night was a tremendous scenario and setting for me and for my family to really get to hear their heart and to know what they're passionate about. As Dr. Maggard said, passion is something that I try to embody. If we're going to do something, we might as well be excited about doing it, right? And I'm very passionate about the opportunity to lead young people during this time of their life. Beyond being human beings, they're students, right? They're student athletes. Sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we think they're athlete students. And it's important that they understand that their academic endeavors are paramount, because that will be the open gate. That will be the gateway, if you will, for what they're going to go on and do when they leave this place. And we want to be proud of what they accomplished then, even more so perhaps than what the accomplishments are between the white lines. So human beings, students, and then obviously the athletic component. We are in a competitive environment, right? We are competitors. We are in an athletic endeavor where the objective is to try to be the very best version of ourselves every single day that we can. That includes game day. So we will aspire to develop and empower champions in order to deliver championships. That is our objective. And doing it the right way, doing it with passion, doing it with care for the human being, so that they know, so that you know that you are valued, so that you know that you are loved, and so that you know that you matter in every area of your experience. That is our objective as a department. That is my objective as a coach, and that will be the objective of the staff. I also would like to thank Lisa and Mark for the work that you guys have put in during this transition time, a very difficult time as anyone can imagine. And from everything, all the accounts that I've received, a phenomenal job has been done of professionalism, and I think that says volumes about who you are as human beings, and I think it shares a tremendous amount for the players who are here under your management, and so I thank you guys very, very much for what you've done. Additionally, the support staff, I got a chance to meet the support staff last night, and I'm thrilled with the level of quality and the human component that exists there. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a terrific place. It's a wonderful opportunity for young people to come in and to be educated, to be challenged, and ultimately to succeed. The combination of those things is where the component of significance come in. For me, we are developing not just human beings, not just soccer players, not just students, but also leaders. We want these young ladies to be leaders in the community. Well, leadership really comes down to influence, right? The influence that is evident from the leadership of this university and the leadership of this department needs to continue to matriculate down all the way through every member of this department, and that will certainly be the expectation for the women's soccer program. I love what Coach Napier has established, the catchphrase, if you will. We sort of live in a time of cliches and catchphrase, right? So the concept of culture, right? And culture is something that in modern sport we hear and we see all the time. But we have to understand what culture is. I shared with them last night in my conversation with them. Culture, as I understand, is a way of life. I remember back to that definition in middle school. It's a way of life. So the culture that we are going to embody, right, is going to be reflected in every decision that we make. As a program, as an individual, as a member of this department, as a member of the university and the community. We will expect excellence of each other and of ourselves. And that's how we will establish a culture that will bring championships. That's our objective. Am I right? Absolutely. I want to thank you folks here. I want to thank you for the support that the players have afforded Dr. Maggard in reaching out to me and finding me, into building this relationship, into building this opportunity. I believe there's wonderful, wonderful opportunity ahead for this university because of the leadership that is in place. The influence that our leadership is having on this community, on the community at large, and on a much broader community is unquestionable. That leadership is going to allow us to continue to be successful, to sustain success, because success in one moment is nice, right? But it's the sustainability of that success, it's the sustainability of that significance that we're really after. I shared a little bit about the vision that I have for this program and for these young women. And the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, the soccer part is important. But the vision that I have for these young people has much more to do with the character, with the integrity, with the community involvement and engagement. We have to be great stewards of what we have, and I expect that we will do exactly that, both from a resource standpoint, from a talent standpoint, and from the opportunities that we have. This is a wonderful community, and I expect to be engaged and involved in this community. It's fantastic to see local members of the soccer community here, and I look forward to developing, building, cultivating those relationships with you all individually and collectively within your organizations. That is an important relationship where there needs to be harmony, and I look forward to doing that. And I thank you guys for being here as well. Some of the staff that I was able to meet today could not have been more welcoming, could not have been more warm to me and to my family. And that's exciting, because when there is a collective excitement and a collective warmth about what we're doing and why we're doing it, then good things happen. Right? And that's what we're about. We're about providing a situation where good things can happen consistently. There's a lot of work to be done. I look forward to starting. We've already started in some regard, but I look forward to engaging each of you. As I've said before, if there's something that you need me to know or want me to know, please do so. I'm excited to be here. My family will be moving in a little while, so I'll be here ahead of them. But I look forward to engaging in this community to the very best of my ability and to the greatest degree possible. As we continue moving forward for this program, the accountability to excellence will be in place, and I assure you of that. We all like success. We all like wins, but we will be excellent in every regard, because that will be the focus from an individual level, a collective level, and certainly we expect that to carry through. Again, thank you for the opportunity to be here today. I look forward to visiting with you as the days and the weeks and the years go on. That's what it is, right? Go Cajuns. I got that right. Thank you.